Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a special announcement. I decided that I'm going to join the Junk Journal July challenge this year. This is my first time doing a challenge. So Junk Journal July is a challenge hosted by Meg Journals. I'm gonna link her video doing the announcement for this year and her channel below. And it's basically daily prompts for the whole month of July. And so I'm gonna be journaling every day during July, or at least I'm gonna try. I know I said in my last video that I don't journal a lot and I enjoy more making journals than journaling, but that's why this is a challenge, because it's going to challenge me for sure. So today we're gonna make the journal for Junk Journal July. And also I just wanted to say that my plan for July is gonna be to post twice a week. So I'm going to post Mondays and Fridays, and it's gonna be a journal with me style of video. It's going to probably be voiceover. That's what I'm planning to do so far, so that I can show you what I'm doing with the prompts. I may still do other videos because I still have to finish that pocket journal and do a flip through of that. So that may be in between, but for sure we're gonna have Mondays and Fridays for Junk Journal July. So let's get started making the journal today. So I have this cover that I made a while ago, and I haven't done anything with it yet, so I decided that this is going to be the cover for Junk Journal July. I made this cover because I was playing with sewing pieces of paper together, trying to make like a patchwork of sorts. So the sewing is there. Then I cover the inside with another piece of paper because all the sewing was on this side and it didn't look very nice. I used magazine covers to make the cover. So it's a little bit sturdy, not as much, it's still kind of soft. And these are images from magazines that I use for a pocket, and then I guess this is part of a cover because it's thicker, and this is the same paper from here. So it's another cover of a scientific magazine. Because I made this journal not thinking about its destiny, I already made a journal name and I don't have space to write July. So maybe we're gonna make something different. I'll probably do it at the end. I'm just thinking to add something here. I have some stickers there that I don't want to cover. I really like those gold butterflies. So I don't want to cover that completely, but I just may add something here. Let's see what the inspiration brings. So I'm gonna go through my papers. I have this folder where I have all my dyed papers. So I'm gonna go through it and find a few papers for the signature, and I'll be back to show you what I've chosen. Okay, so I've picked a few papers. I probably have more than what I need here. I don't know. I'm thinking, so I need at least 31 pages. If I do 10 pages, 10 sheets of paper, I'll have 40 pages to journal on, but sometimes I like to journal on 2 pages, like in a spread. So, but I don't need 80. 60. What am I counting? I don't need 62, or maybe, so if I do 15, I'll have 60. Maybe I'll do 15. Let's see. If I have leftover pages, I'll keep journaling on it. Let's see what I have. So here I have a bunch of, regular size paper that it's all coffee dyed. I have, except this one, this is tea dyed. For some of them, I've used stencils, for a lot of them actually. So have that one. This is a graph paper. This, I just put like a bullet journal stencil on it. You can't really see it. This is not great stenciling work, but it's okay because it's going to mostly be covered. This is something I did with my son where we stained paper with tissue paper. We had several colors, but only the green released the dye. The other ones didn't, so it didn't really work as I expected it would, but that would go there. This is tea paper. I made tea one day and I grabbed the tea bag and I just started dab it all over a piece of paper. I mean, that's how I dye paper sometimes. I'm like, oh, I have coffee here. And these are all flyers that my son brought from school. It's bright paper and some of them are more pastel, but I dyed them all with coffee and I put some stencils in between them. This was an easy thing where I just stacked them. I wasn't paying too much attention to what I was doing, but there are some stencil marks in there that look cool. I think this one in particular, that was black. It kind of, the black went away when I added the coffee, but look at that. That's a very interesting pattern there. I don't know if you can see. It's the stencil. It's a leaf, but it's kind of black on that side and it's white on this side. So I thought that was interesting. So this is yellow. I'm trying to see if I'm on frame. This one doesn't have much stenciling and this one has some. So all of this, and then here I have a few other papers that are different sizes. This is a small notebook page that it's also coffee dyed. This, I got it from a book. I'll show you. This flower arranging book that I recently bought, secondhand, obviously. Oh, look, that was nice. Maybe I'll use this for collage. I don't know. It's a nice image. So I'm going to include this. This is from an old encyclopedia. It's Gems. I think the first, I haven't printed the prompts yet, but I'm going to put the prompts somewhere and put a link so that you can go and check them out. But I think the first one is Spark, and I found this gem page in the encyclopedia. So I'm going to maybe use this one for the first one. So I have some map, some other coffee dyed paper that's smaller. This one, I need to cut it there, and this is a book coloring page. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, is it? I only want to do one signature. Is this going to be too much? Let's see. I'm going to start folding paper and see how it works, and then we'll see. I'm going to speed this process up. This one also, I rip it. I need to be more careful. This is a beautiful book that I found. I went to the Center for Creative Reuse a couple of weeks ago and they had a sale on books, and so I bought a lot of secondhand books, and I'll show you. This is not a whole video, but I found this one that it's called Secret Garden, and it's just beautiful. But you know, a kid had already colored in it, make some collages. But look at this. Oh, I love this bag page. So beautiful. So I may color some of them and use others in collage. So I need to figure out, I was thinking I wanted it like this, but then I'm gonna have to trim it. Maybe I don't wanna do that. Maybe I'll just do it like this. I'm just gonna do it like this. I'm sorry if my light keeps changing, but we keep having and not having storms at the same time. Starts rain, it gets very dark, it rains, and then it goes away, and then the sun comes out, and then I don't know, we've been like this all day. I'm not complaining because today it's not as hot as it was the rest of the week. Oh my god, it was awful. Let's see, this is still too tall, so I'm gonna trim the other side even though we don't need it. And then I may need to trim more if it's still too tall. Okay, so I folded all the papers. I have a better idea of what I want. I mean, this is a good size journal. I think that there was one of this color. This one, I don't want it because it has writing both sides. So then that leaves me with what, 16? And I can work with 16. One of them, it's going to be this tiny one that I may not journal on it because it's too small, but it could be part of something else. We'll see. So let's start assembling. Other than the tiny journal that I made with you guys, I haven't made a journal in camera. It usually takes me longer than this because this is mostly a naked journal. When I'm making a journal for someone else, I decorate the pages, I make pockets and things like that. I spend a lot of time in every page. So that's what's gonna be the journaling. The journaling is gonna be adding things. I could decorate it and then add things on top of it. For my personal taste, I rather journal in a blank canvas, kind of. I mean, there's still gonna be colors and stuff, so I'm not gonna do much decoration. I may want to make a pocket because I need to put the prompt. I could use the pockets in here, but I kind of want to add some papers that I may use for collaging instead of the prompt. I prefer to have the prompt on this side. Let's see. So, but thinking that I want to have the prompt on the first page, I'm going to use this as my first page because it's going to be blank on this side. And then I'm pretty sure the first day, it's spark. So I can do something like this, you know. Now I'm already thinking what I want to do. So that's going to be my second page. And then I don't remember the other prompt, so I guess I will do this kind of randomly. Okay, decided that this one doesn't go in there either. Starting to think that I don't know if I like the green. Do I like the green? Because I like that I have more neutrals, but the green can be neutral. I think I'm keeping the green, but I don't know if I like it with that. I want to keep this one as my middle page because it is blank everywhere. I kind of like having that. So maybe I'll do this. And then this. Oh yeah, that looks good. Except that I don't like the green. So I'm gonna shuffle this around. Okay, I prefer that. So here's my signature. It's only one signature. I may trim. You see that when you put the papers together, they are not the same size now, but that's gonna depend on how they fit in here. Yeah. I like that unless I'm putting lace, I don't want the paper to be out of my cover. And so I'm going to trim the pages a little bit. I'll show you how, but first I think I need to put some paper clips in here. So then I do this. I put my fingers in the middle of the signature and then I do this boom, 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 boom. That's probably gonna make them more close together. I want to do something different with this binding, which I'm terrified to do it on camera. So I'm gonna not do it on camera. I'll tell you in a second what it is. Okay, I'm going to clip the pages together. Okay, so I have the papers clipped all together and I'm putting it in here, and I want to mark where I wanted it to be. So I want it to be a little bit shorter than my cover. Oh, I think I hit my camera with my head. So I want to double check that the top is fine. Yeah, the top is perfect. I'm not gonna trim that, but I do want to trim this. So then I'm gonna line this up in my mat and grab my metal ruler, and so I'm gonna line it up that with that line so it's easier. I don't know if I've mentioned I have a hard time seeing straight lines for some reason, so I use my mat a lot as a guide to tell me where the lines are. Otherwise, everything's gonna be crooked. It usually always ends up being crooked anyways, but I mean, it's junk journals. We don't care that much. At least I don't care that much. I'm gonna have a lot of strips after this, but here we go. So just go with my craft knife a few times over, just pressing very hard on my ruler because I don't want to move it. And then you're just basically trimming all of your pages at the same time. Okay, see, that's nice. I think this here, it's not perfect, but that's okay. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. Some of them are too small to use, but with sizes like this, I like to make ruffles, paper ruffles, like this one. These are all edges that I've trimmed. And then I put them through my sewing machine and I make ruffles and decorate pages with it. Now, double check. Yes, now I like it. Because this is gonna grow and we're gonna add more things, so, but it's looking nice. I like the combination of colors, how it looks like this way. So I guess this is gonna be a very eclectic journal. We started with an eclectic cover, and although all the papers inside are kind of neutral, I'm pretty sure all my collages are gonna be very eclectic. A lot of random stuff put together. So now, what am I going to do? So in that pocket journal, I have a lot of papers that are different sizes. And I'm thinking that for some of them, 3-hole pamphlet stitch is not going to be good because it's not gonna hold all the pages. Some of them are smaller, so they're not gonna be bound properly. They're probably just gonna have the middle hole, and I'm afraid that they would come off. So I want to do a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, but I've never done it, but I think I want to. I think I should. So I'm gonna do that, and let's do it. Okay, so I'm gonna do the template on camera, and then I'm gonna do it off camera because I really don't know what I'm doing. When we bound the tiny journal together, I didn't make a template. So I'm gonna show you how I make a template. So we need a piece of paper that's gonna be as tall as your paper. So I'm just gonna cut, a little bit from this page here. It actually doesn't even have to be that wide. I'm gonna do that. So you need something that you can fold, okay? So you need to have a middle because that's your middle of the signature. If I take this and you put it in here, it should be the height of your paper or the height of your cover. Yeah, that's perfect. So now what I normally do for a 3 pamphlet stitch is that I fold this in half like so. Where's my knife? My knife holder, that's how I'm gonna call it. And so now we have here this center, that's gonna be our middle hole. And then for the other 2, I usually go half, but then kind of half again. So I think I'm gonna keep the same kind of pattern. So I'll show you. So I measure half first. I don't mark it, but then I measure half of that. Oops. Okay, so now when you open this, you're gonna have your top and your bottom holes. Okay, so that's the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. But now I want 2 more that are in between these 2. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring these 2 together and fold there. So that's another one. And then those together again. Chum, chum, chum. And there we go. That's our template. So I like to mark what's gonna be my top, because if you move it between your pages and your cover, you need to know what your top is. It's getting really dark. I turned up my light a little bit because it's getting really dark. Okay, so now I put this in here. You know what? Because this is just one signature and it doesn't have a spine and it's not very hard. You can reinforce. If you're doing like a simple cover like this, you can reinforce it, but I actually have, it's basically 3 layers of papers here. So I think it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna go ahead and poke the holes through all my signature, all my pages and the cover at the same time. I'll show you how I do that and then I'll do the sewing off camera. So I just want to check that all my smaller papers are in position. So doing it this way, I hope that at least some of the smaller papers would get 2 holes. Let's see. That one's gonna get 2. That one 2. That one 2. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. So I'm going to put this in here. I'm not moving anything, so I don't want to mess up with my with how the papers are organized. So I'm not moving my paper clips, but I do want to, well, actually I'm gonna have to move them. Ignore what I just said. I do want to make sure that the center it's aligned. like this, and I'm going to clip here. Clip here. So here I have my awl, and I need another paper clip. I had a set of bigger clips and I don't know where they are, but these are okay. So now I'm gonna clip all the pages to my cover. I have to use a smaller one. I think you can buy, if you're new to making journals, I think you can buy book binding kits on Amazon. At least I've been told that that's a possibility. I never did that. I didn't have anything when I started, and I didn't buy anything. I was poking the holes with a needle, and then I found this. This is actually from the 50s or 60s. It was new in the original box. The box was falling apart because it was so old, but it was called An All for All. I thought it was funny, but it's a very thick tip. The idea is that you can sew with this. It's like for heavy jackets or leather. I've tried. I don't know how you would do that, but it has waxed thread here, and this moves. So you have to put the thread through here, thread your needle basically, because it's a needle. I don't know if you can see it, but I've never been able to use it as such. So just use it to poke holes. Okay, so what works best for me is when I have this, I don't open this fully, but I just kind of do it like this. I close it a little bit so that the holes end up in the middle like that. They don't always do, but I mean, that's okay. Again, this is for me to journal on. It's not such a big deal. If I'm working on a journal for someone else, then I worry more. But this works fine for me. Although now, where is it? I can't see it. I'm just saying this works and I cannot get it to go through. Yes, there. Just be very careful, don't poke yourself. And now we go again. So that's 3 holes. This is gonna be my 4. There, and 5th. Okay, so because I have to figure out how to bind this with the 5-hole pamphlet stitch, I'm gonna do it off camera and I'll be back. But one thing, before you bind, remove your template, because you don't want, I guess we can remove this one. You don't want your template to be bound, although, I mean, it wouldn't be so terrible. This, you can reuse it if you make a journal the same size, which this is standard copy paper that, I don't know, what is it, 11? So this is probably 8.5 inches. That's in centimeters. Yeah, so I'm using 11 by 8.5 paper to make the cover, so that this is an 8.5 inches tall journal. So I could reuse it. Actually, I'm gonna to write that, so maybe I'll reuse it, because I think my other journal is the same size. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I did it. I don't think it's the right way. But you can see there, I think I'm not supposed to have a double thread. So definitely before binding the other journal, I'm gonna have to watch a tutorial on how to do it. But I think this will do it for this. I did a nest. I think it's called a nest knot. Like when you do this, like this. So this, I'm gonna do another one. I'll show you. Now I'm not gonna be able to do it. There. And so now my strings are all the way to the ends, but I'm going to, I was thinking that I want to leave them like that, hanging on top and bottom, but I think I'm just gonna trim them. So I went through the middle, a hole to the outside, then went back into the top hole, and then I went all the way down to the bottom hole, and then I went into this one, and then I went into the second one here. So I have a lot of strings here, so this is what it's not supposed to happen, but it's bound. If it's not done that way, I don't know then. Okay, things that I need to learn. So let's take a look. It's kind of very chunky at the moment. It's gonna get huge. I don't know if this cover it's gonna hold it together for that long. Also, it got super dark and it's windy outside, so I hope it doesn't start thundering. First page, I really like. I originally wanted to do a science journal with this one, but that's why I have like the human body there. But I mean, it's not. So we have that. The tiny one, you see this one, if I just did the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, it would just have the middle one. So now it's fully secure with 3 holes. It's the same for this one. Yep, looks good. And then we have a pocket at the end to add more things. And before I go, let's just do a name tag for this because I like this one, but I just want to put Junk Journal July. Okay, I think I'm just gonna use this piece of paper. Oh, it's very dark. I'm gonna have to turn my light up. Okay, so I cut this piece of paper and it's coffee dyed paper. And I'm just going to use this for my corners. Oh, it's cute. Oops. Okay, there we have it, Junk Journal July 2024. I'm gonna ink a little bit because if we don't ink, then there's no fun. And let's glue it. I'm using art glitter glue because this is glossy. This is glossy magazine paper. I don't know what my glue is doing. Okay, there we have it. Now I think it says journal twice. Should have just covered it. But I don't want to cover the butterflies. Okay, and there we have our Junk Journal July journal. I really like how it ended up being. I like the combination of colors, and it's gonna be fun. Thank you for watching today, and I hope you join me in the challenge. And as a reminder, I'll be posting Mondays and Fridays, and maybe I'll have an extra one in between. Let's see, during the month of July. And I'll see you next time. Bye.